Hello, I'm Glimo, and I'm the keeper of the chronicles for this Call of Cthulhu Massive Nyarlathotep campaign on Roll20 and streaming to Twitch and YouTube. Welcome to session 19. London, London, and more London. I hope everyone had a great week. I've worked every single day since our last session, so I'm feeling a little burnt out. But at least that meant I got to hide in the air conditioning during the 100-degree day yesterday, even if it was crawling around in a drop ceiling fishing wires. Also, rumor has it that I'm going to be returning to AP Gaming Reel to reprise Harbinger on Thursday, August 1st. If you like Battletech, tune on in.
And follow my Twitter at GleemoLeBlue for more details. How's everyone else doing? Let's go around the board. Sean, what's going on in your world?
Well, I officially got the doctor's note, so I'm now 4 years cancer free.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's a
Uh,
big deal, my friend.
yes. And unfortunately, at the end of the week, I heard the news of one of my high school buddies who I used to game with has passed. I think it's one of the
Oh,
first
I'm
high school friends I had
so sorry.
that goes on that. Yeah, that's. It was telling my friends. Just seems like yesterday we're all going to each other's weddings, then we're going to our friends' parents' funerals. So this is going to be a first, unfortunately.
Well, to follow that up, George, what's going on with you? I love the chair, George.
Oh,
It just screams 1983.
yeah. Uh, it's not that old, but it's quite comfortable. Um, not too much. Just also trying to avoid the horrific combination of high heat and high humidity. So, uh, anyways, um, other than that, pretty much the same old, same old. Um, Speaking of the '80s, apparently, I haven't seen it yet, but apparently, like Stranger Things season three continues the downward decline of what would have been like the first season was like unbelievable, and the second season was good but significantly less good. And I've heard the third season just continues the downward trend, fortunately.
I will admit I haven't watched the third season yet.
I'm about halfway through the third season, and yeah, it's not pulling me to binge it as much as the first one did.
First one was unbelievable. Like
Yeah,
they got everything right.
Yes.
the third season has had its moments, but yeah, it's not as believable as the first season could have. The third is even less believable, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, although I will say I was super, super happy to walk into my friendly local game store a few weeks ago and see the Stranger Things Red Box re-release of the original Dungeons and Dragons, because I mean that was my jam in the 1980 when I first started playing D&D. Like it was Red Box D&D, and I had definitely had a huge geekgasm over that.
I heard that the Stranger Things they actually use 5e rather than BECMI.
That's
That
correct.
wouldn't surprise me. I mean, I think that Wizards of the Coast has pretty much abandoned all earlier Dungeons and Dragons titles.
That's too bad. Actually, BCMI is like the best-selling role-playing game of all time. They moved like 9 million units or something, and the Mentor version had the that Choose Your Own Adventure, which I think is still like the best introduction to role-playing games
Mm.
ever. Um, like I was reading.
I mean, I'll admit, like bring it all back around to Call of Cthulhu. I really loved Against the Flames. The choose your own adventure Call of Cthulhu intro. Um, I thought that was great. I also really, really liked the Lone Wolf sagas from the original D20, like 3E stuff. I mean, that was some seriously good adventures. If you didn't have your own group, um, as so many of us didn't at one point in time. Honestly, I wish that had come about 10 years earlier. I didn't find that until when did that come out? Like 96, 97. No one else played Wolf, so you're not going to help me on this. Okay, never mind.
Are you talking about the game books by Joe Deaver, where you're playing a Kai Lord?
That sounds right.
Uh, he had his own proprietary stripped down RPG in the game books. Um, I don't know what this sounds like, an adaptation to another game.
Yeah, that was more along the time. Well, a little after when I was into all of the Lord British stuff and Quest of the Avatars.
Oh, I played the crap out of everything from Origin Systems back in the day. I mean, I started with Ultima 2 and never looked back.
Yep.
Um,
I think it was 4 that was like I played it through every single possible way you could go through.
mm-hmm. Yep. Um, yeah, no, loved everything by Origin Systems. Backed the Kickstarter for Lord British's, latest Shroud of the Avatar. Might not have loved it as much as I might want to, but am still holding out hope. Possibly just based on nostalgia.
Yeah,
Yeah. So there's that. I guess we'll lead it into you, Bill. What's going on with you?
well, it was a pretty much a regular week of work, and then super hot at the campground this weekend. It was just stifling. I try not to run the air conditioner during the day, but it ran from Friday when we showed up until we left about 6:30 tonight. So that thing was just cranking away.
Ugh. I mean, yeah, you don't even have water out where you camp, do you? To like try to cool down.
They've got a pond and a pool, and the pond's good for you. Pond's good for me, but yeah, it's like, the pool was like probably 85, 90-degree water.
Oof.
It's out in the sun all day. It just heats and heats and heats. Kids not holding their bowels in the pool very well.
Oh.
And like 2 weeks in a row, they've had to shut it down to clean it.
You're hoping it's just a Butterfinger bar, but
Exactly.
Wow. Okay. So there's
Yeah,
that
so
then,
so the pond is
right? At least you know it's just the amoebas shitting in there. Tark, bring us out on a high note, please.
Well, down here in the icy Southwest, it was only in the mid 90s Fahrenheit today, so you know, pretty standard, I guess. Um, I don't know. Been getting a lot of calls either very early in the morning or very late at night saying, "Hey, we need you to come in tomorrow or today." You know, even though you weren't supposed to. So, work schedule, as always, is an adventure. And yeah.
not even supposed to be here today.
Exactly. Fortunately, nobody's tried to rob the place while I've been there.
Dude, have you seen the new stills from the new Jay and Silent Bob?
The trailer has been released on Kevin
Right.
Smith's site. So yeah, I
just
watched
saw
the
that
trailer
earlier.
like Saturday.
Like, intellectually, I'd heard that Kevin Smith has lost a lot of weight, but holy shit!
Yes, he has.
The trailer for the Witcher Netflix series also dropped.
Nice.
That's
I am
literally
avidly awaiting the new HBO Watchmen series.
Yeah.
I'm interested in I think Amazon is doing The Boys.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm keeping
Did
an
anybody
eye
see
on
the
that one.
Picard trailer?
No.
I don't know if I'm that interested in it. Watching. Ooh. When's it coming out?
Yeah, that's one of those pick up CBS All Access for a month and drop it back again.
Thank you for the host, Arthur. Yeah, you know, I'm anxiously awaiting fall. One, for it not to be 100 degrees anymore in the Northeast, and two, for all the great stuff that is hopefully coming out to distract us from life.
And a Warhammer 40K TV series, which is probably going to be terrible, just based on my limited experience of Warhammer 40K media that isn't books.
All right. I'm
Those are
gonna,
really good.
and this is where I'm gonna lose Arthur forever, and I'm not gonna be invited back to game with him in 2 weeks. But I don't understand Warhammer, and I've never understood Warhammer, and educate me. Tell me what I need to know and why I want to play, because it just seems to me from the outside like you took the worst that was Spelljammer and mashed a whole bunch of the future on top of it and called it an RPG. Am I wrong? Have I just been missing something?
Well, I mean,
Obviously, the answer is yes, because everyone loves this but me. But
the tabletop.
where
like the
did I
war
go
game-
wrong in my understanding as to what Warhammer is?
Well, right. First off, you got the orcs,
Grimdark
right?
before Grimdark was popular.
The orcs is the best because they was made for fighting and winning, right?
It was Grimdark before Grimdark was popular, and it has a British sensibility, so it feels different from a lot of other fantasy material out there. And also, I think
So this is why all my British and Australian friends rock at the game, and I suck. Okay, got it.
And the minis are cool, as my buddy will tell me.
and
That's the only reason he's into anything Warhammer is the minis are cool. And just because he has a whole basement full of them, does not make him biased.
And there have been a number of good. I don't know about television, but there have been a number of good video game adaptations of.
Oh yeah, they're good games, but like, have you seen the Ultramarines movie? It's very bad.
No, I think I saw somebody do like a cartoon. He took like the audio and made his own uh, uh, like animation or cartoon. So that was actually pretty cool.
Was that the Ultramarines movie, or was that the one of the cutscenes from Dawn of War?
I don't know.
Dawn of War, great game.
Right.
Original Dawn of War, and two of the expansions.
But yeah, there's also a kind of absurdist element to Warhammer and Warhammer 40K. So if you don't roll with it, then it could seem really stupid.
Well, that's why I love Blood Bowl.
Oh yeah.
I think especially 40K, if you take it too seriously, you're doing it wrong.
There was an awesome Blood Bowl adaptation for the Sega Genesis, and it was super easy. All you had to do was kill the quarterback, because every team only had 3 quarterbacks. So you just illegally rush them before the play starts and hit and lay in a massive hit, and eventually you kill all your opponent's quarterbacks and you win by default.
That's just how real football works, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't really know much about sports.
I don't know, man. I mean, I was a diehard D&D red box, original AD&D, and then I latched on to second edition. I really liked some of the that it became an actual playable system in second edition. But then like all the splat books came out, and then like Spelljammer was just when it jumped the shark, and that was what when they tried to put the sci-fi element into D&D, and so you had a spaceship, but you powered it by magic, and like the 0 level Spelljammer ship, you had a forge that powered your interstellar magic spaceship, and you just threw magic items in it to power the ship. And I feel, and that's my understanding of Warhammer 40K is like this is shitty Spelljammer on steroids, and I'm sure I'm wrong, but this is how like Spelljammer first got explained to me 20 years ago, or sorry, Warhammer got explained to me 20 years ago, and I just haven't ever like delved in more. And now I've got a bunch of friends that are like finally like getting like seriously into it, which seems like a weird time to get into to Warhammer, but okay.
Well, you need disposable income, so it's
right.
Lots of disposable.
Well, that's the thing. Like I have never been a minis guy. Like that was why I didn't spend more time playing BattleTech in college, because I could only play with the groups that had extra minis, and I could only play in the shitty mechs that they had extras of, because I loved the game, but I couldn't afford a million minis. It's why I abandoned D&D after 3E when they turned it into a tabletop war game, because I couldn't afford a million minis. And it was honestly only with the advent of Roll20 that I like got back into the hobby, because I can't afford a million minis, but I can buy a $5 pack on Roll20 Marketplace, and now I have 2 million minis. So okay, awesome. Now I can play Dungeons and Dragons again. I don't know. Of course, I also defected to Pathfinder at that point, but that's its own thing. and then 5e came out, and we went away from the minis again. So I don't know. I like the concept, but I don't really understand it, and I probably should. And with the advent of Roll20 and Tabletop Simulator, and all these other virtual tabletops, I don't have to spend $1 million on minis. So I
Well, you
should
could do it.
probably figure it out.
You can do what my brother-in-law has done. 3D printing in his basement.
Again, I just don't have the patience or the storage space for physical minis anymore. I don't know. I'm an old man. I don't understand. This world frightens me.
Get off my lawn.
Well, in my copy of BattleTech, there was like 200 like stand-up cardboard things.
Mm-hmm.
If we didn't have it, we would just take a slip of paper and write the name of the mech on there.
Oh, absolutely. Shit, I moved all my stuff. Hold on one second. I'll get it on camera.
But then the other guys tease you about government cheese and
Well, then you just kill them. So
true that.
Yeah, like, this was the best thing that where's my webcam? That Pathfinder did was the Pathfinder pawns, you know, that if you were still an old school standing in front, that they have the little standees, and all these things that you punch out, and okay, I need a savage mercenary, and so I punch him out and I push him in a standee, and so this is this is the size of a ream of paper, and it has 346 minis in it. And it was $40 US. So, okay, that's an investment that I'm willing to make. I'm willing to spend $1 or 10 cents a mini to do that. Okay, yep, got it. And and it's like this box was the NPC codex, so it's barbarians, bards, clerics, druids. So this is your this will roll out like every town that your adventurers will go to. I've got another 2 boxes like this, so so $100 on sale for the 3 of them, and you pretty much have every NPC or monster that you're likely to run into. Okay, it doesn't have like some crazy one-off thing, but all right. So you either go buy a special Hydra Dragon whatever mini, or you just do without, or you defect to Roll20 once Roll20 actually became a thing, and go from there. Well, we have blown off a lot of steam talking about our RPG past. I suppose we could, wait for a few more minutes and see if Carl's going to join us at the top of the hour. All right. That's it for me. Anybody else have anything? Okay.
We were casing the.
Oh yeah, well that was gonna be the next thing is who remembers last session, but any non Call of Cthulhu massive Nyarlathotep talk.
I actually have something that's kind of related to it.
Yeah, go ahead, Sean.
By the way, if anybody's been following I can't remember the society that does like, I saw a prop for it. That you apparently get all the props and a radio dramatization of the masks for $1,200 US.
HP
Oh,
Lovecraft Historical
Jesus.
Society. I think
Yeah.
it's called. They were, I think last year they were in pre-orders for it, and it was.
I mean, I saw the Kickstarters for the prop kits, that were expensive but reasonable. You know, it was like 150 US, per. Like if I had a home group and a non, Skype group, I would probably have gone in for that because it saves you from printing and a whole bunch of other things. And they look super cool. But $1,200 for some recordings? That's
Well, no, it's actually physical material. They give you. I said they do a dramatization, which I'm going to be curious, and I will get after we've completed, just to see how their radio drama goes on. But no, they actually have physical. Like they give you, like the physical item. They actually have the physical items there. Like I don't know, statues and coins and things like that.
okay. Well,
Still too rich for my blood.
yeah, that's something. That's something. Okay. Anybody have anything else before we get going?
Does anybody want to hear my spiel about Warhammer 40K, or should we just skip that?
If you can fit it in 5 minutes, sure.
I'll do my best.
Yeah.
So I don't play any of the Warhammer war games or anything. I've done a bit of the RPGs, but I like the Warhammer 40K setting. It's just kind of fun, and I think you can do a lot with it. And one of the strengths, but also one of the weaknesses, is that there's just so much different crap in there. Like as they were making it, it was like, hey, let's put some Judge Dredd in this. Okay, how about Lovecraft? Yeah, lots of Lovecraft. You want to put some Sherlock Holmes? Sure, let's make a little bit of Sherlock Holmes. Hey, how about All Quiet on the Western Front? Yeah, that's great. Like, it's a damn random.
So we're
grab
back
bag
to
of-
Lord British again. I mean, this is you just described Ultima 1.
It's just they're drawing from so many different things, and it can either be a schizophrenic mess or it can be really cool, and kind of depends on who's writing it, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are a lot of possibilities, and some of those possibilities are really stupid, like a lot of the stuff that I have heard about the Ultramarines in certain eras of the game being a little too great at everything. And yeah.
Okay.
But yeah. Undead space Egyptians, sure. Excuse me, undead robotic space Egyptians.
Arthur loves it. Grimdark James loves it. Sid Alpha loves it. I feel like I've got enough friends that I really respect that just love this thing that I feel like I'm missing out. But I've tried watching some friends play it, and I'm just like, I don't know enough about the setting that I feel like I don't know the vocab, and I just get lost. Unlike a lot of RPGs where you watch half a session and you pick everything that you need to know up through osmosis. It's so alien of a setting from any usual fantasy or sci-fi setting that it's there's a barrier to entry there, and I have not yet surpassed that. and maybe I just need to get my shit together and go watch a bunch of videos on 1D4chan and figure out what's going on.
From what I've seen of Warhammer back when I first read it a long time ago, it had its little universe, kind of like a Star Wars thing, and then it spun off lots of stuff, like kind of the Rebels spun off, and Droids spun off, and Solo spun off, and it kind of just went in every direction. I'm like, like you said, some of them are really cool, and other ones I'm like, who is into this?
All right. Well,
Conclusion: death to the lapdogs of the Corpse Emperor.
Hail Chaos. Okay. Who remembers what happened last week?
Well, we stumbled back to our lodgings after a daring escape from the dastardly cultists who had somehow foiled our ingenious plans. We relocated pretty quickly. Jack and Alistair went to see Gavigan. Edward Gavigan, I want to say, the Egyptologist who was the cult leader, and sort of tried to play dumb and put him off the scent a little. He gave a very boring tour of the Penhew Foundation galleries, museum kind of thing. We idly discussed what to do for a while. And we somehow got directed to the Limehouse Docks. Was it? There was a van from the warehouse, from Chowdhury's warehouse, that we followed from the Penhew Foundation.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. We followed the crate to the warehouse and then on to the Ivory
Wind.
Ivory Wind. That's
yeah. We looked into Puneet Chowdhury's warehouse, and it's a little bit shady, and they were loading the crates from it onto the Ivory Wind, I think, which is a kind of beat up cargo ship, and we were going to try to interrogate, get some information out of the captain of the ship while he was drinking, I believe. He seems to like his alcoholic beverages, from what we've seen.
Yes. Okay. Good summary. So, it is the evening of Friday, February 6th. You have tracked the captain of the Ivory Wind to a pub in Limehouse. What are you doing?
Well, my suggestion was, if I remember correctly, is that two of us go in, we sit next to the captain, we make it like we're having an argument over what's a better drink, right? Something similar to what the captain's having. And then one of us will turn to the captain and go, hey, listen, you're an impartial man. Let's buy you mind if we buy you a couple drinks and you tell us your opinion here. Settle our dispute between the two of us.
Works for me. Let's get them drunk, and after a few beverages, the conversation starts flowing.
Okay. Works for as well as anything. This is what you're up to. This is the plan.
Yeah, this is the cockamamie idea we came up with.
Excellent.
If that doesn't work, I'll ask him out on a date.
Gets lonely on the sea voyages, son.
You could be a cabin boy.
But he'll arrive a cabin man.
So, who wants to go in? Tark? Myself? Anybody else?
Because why wouldn't we split the party?
It makes everything so much easier.
So we all be a group that sits near him. I think all of us could be together for this one.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
I'll
I don't know
play
if we want to
the.
be overly conspicuous.
Okay. Tell me how you're playing this out.
So did we follow him into the tavern, or
You followed him into the tavern.
okay? So yeah, we can kind of sit down near him and see if we can get him drinking with us.
Well, he is drinking. He is definitely drinking.
Okay, let's go into our routine as discussed before we went in. But me and Tark, we get into the argument. I don't know. I think this is a better drink than that which you're having.
Come on, you're going to tell me what? I mean, what do you put in a Manhattan? Because you asked me, you can't make a Manhattan without Canadian whiskey.
Well, I am Canadian, and I agree with you totally that that is fine. But I don't know if we have it in Manhattan here. More likely like a dark and stormy.
I mean, this is one of the most cosmopolitan cities in the world. Of course they're going to have Manhattan. Come on.
Yeah, but we're down by the docks.
Yes.
Just because we're by the docks doesn't mean we can't enjoy some of the finer things in life.
They might import the Crown Royal. That's true.
Feel like I'm giving you a penalty die just for putting Canadian whiskey in a Manhattan.
It could be worse. Could be asking for one with scotch.
Lars just kind of looks up at your imaginations. It's just like,
Here.
like I don't know you guys, but you do not put Canadian whiskey in a Manhattan.
Yeah. No, you don't. And I still say, if you want a proper cocktail, here, nice, dark and stormy.
You're about
Rum.
100 years ahead of the Dark and Stormy, but
No, we're not. Dark and stormy was invented after World War One in Bermuda.
really,
Yeah, it's
Okay.
I'm a patron of this guy that does cocktails, Canadian Old
excellent.
Fashioned. Dark rum, ginger beer. Yeah.
All right. You know what?
So
Get me a glass of dry gin and a bottle of dry vermouth.
Okay.
Now watch this. This is how you make a martini, all right? You got your gin. You take the vermouth. You leave the cap on the bottle. You just sort of pretend to pour it. And then you drink the gin. Done.
So Churchill.
That's right.
I don't know if that was a Churchill in the 1920s, but
That's true. I'm just.
So you take the scotch, and you just a little splash of Drambuie in it, along with a little twist.
You know what? I don't think we're going to be able to settle our arguments here. What we need is a neutral body, somebody that can give an honest opinion to break this. I look over at the captain. Is he looking at our direction at all?
He has kind of shook his head and is leaning into his own glass, which has
No,
its
I feel
own
like-
thing that you are not quite sure of in it.
Yog Sothoth's Old Peculiar, a fine brew. No, I feel like this plan is just going to end with us spending a lot of money to get him completely blackout drunk, and then he's going to pass out and we're not going to get anything. I think that's where this is going. I don't know. How intoxicated is he?
You would guess that he's not sober.
Hmm.
I'm sure there's some sort of role in Call of Cthulhu for that, but I don't really know what it would be. I don't know, maybe psychology, but you would guess he's probably not sober. I mean, he didn't look that sober when he was coming down the gangplank, and
Yes,
that was an hour ago.
I'm trying to gauge on a scale from feeling good to how many fingers do I have again?
I mean, he's probably half a Yeltsin.
Okay.
Sober enough to know what he's doing, but drunk enough to really enjoy doing it.
So we probably want to get him a little more drunk before I try to pick his pockets for anything useful.
So, what would be something that would be a really high alcohol content at this time period available here?
Absinthe.
Grain alcohol.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably don't have absinthe in a crappy dock bar.
Nah, wouldn't.
They have absinthe in crappy bars in artists' neighborhoods.
Cask strength rum.
That would probably be it. Do it.
How about we goad him into starting a fight and get him thrown out?
Yeah, let's just try and see first. Why don't she approach
Carl.
him and drink?
Hey, hold on a second.
All right.
I'm experiencing various AV difficulties tonight.
Actually, he drank the potion of invisibility.
How many sanity points does that cost you?
All right, what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
It's gone.
All right. Bill and Will, can I get you to shut your cameras off for a second? Let's try to move Carl back where he belongs. Okay, Bill on. And Tark on. Great. Okay, so you missed us rehashing old D&D stories and trying to decide whether
I think
or
the
not
appropriate word
we
is shitting.
whether or not we understand. Okay, whether or not I understand what Warhammer is and if that's a good thing.
Warhammer
And so
Fantasy or
we
40K?
40K.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is.
And so now we have finally just started, like 5 minutes before you came on the scene, and the gang has tracked the captain of the Ivory Wind to a bar and are trying to figure out what to do with that, and mostly they think it involves a drinking game.
Okay, I gotta read the notes first.
And that's where we came in. What is everyone's plan other than trying to convince the captain that a Manhattan is made with Canadian whiskey?
How many people are in the bar?
It's fairly packed. It's a Friday night on the docks. You know, there's a lot of people in the bar.
How many of them look like they are from the captain's crew?
You did not see anyone else come off his ship.
Do any of them look like they're Egyptians or have been following us around?
Make a spot hidden roll.
I should join the game. All the windows around.
So Martin doesn't think that anyone followed him to this bar.
Obviously, we're not being followed.
Wait, I forgot what the plan is. We were trying to stake out this ship
Yeah, and then we
because those
found the
boxes
captain.
were delivered to that warehouse.
Yeah, we're going to the captain to see if we can't liquor him up a bit, see if we loosen his tongue, and get him to talk. And trying to think of how to approach him to do it. Now, has the captain been drinking what we can tell is not drinking beer or anything? He's drinking a hard.
It is
alcohol.
a hard liquor that you don't recognize.
Got a little captain in you?
I said, what? Nobody here has identified booze?
Identify booze. I got archaeology.
Fine Falernian wine. Rome's best.
Interesting terroir. New Jersey's finest.
All right, so
I wasn't here. I'll let you guys keep doing the thing.
I'm gonna try to.
I got a job.
Maybe we can recruit him to be like the world's most interesting man or something.
hello there. I represent an American manufacturer of fine brandy that is looking for a spokesperson, and you seem dashing. No, don't. That prohibition thing is just a myth.
Old English with an E.
The finest American beverage ever produced. No, it's not. I'm a spokesperson for the manufacturers of a drink called Mad Dog 2020. The 2020 is because every test it's ever taken, it's been awarded 20 out of 20 points.
So
But
let me ask: is this audio playing for you guys?
like audio in roll 20? I'm not getting.
Yeah, audio in roll 20.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, the speakeasy.
Wait, there's
Yeah.
like sound? Is that what you mean?
I can hear it.
Yes.
on
Negative.
Twitch.
Yeah. Well, I've got to. Well, I also pushed it through Roll20, so I thought that meant it would play to you guys. Oh wait. Oh, I have to add to game. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, now I hear it.
Okay, so I think one of you guys needs to get him into a drinking contest. Get him absolutely blind drunk. And then I'll help him home and go through his pockets and see if there are any interesting documents.
I feel like there was a pulp talent for this. I didn't take it though.
Pulp talent for what? Drinking contests? Probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
If there is, my next character is going to have it. Because I foresee this situation coming up a lot more.
What happened to my Pulp Cthulhu book? Damn it.
PDF. There it is.
Proceed.
Who has the highest Constitution score?
I know that in Pulp Cthulhu there's an effect of drinking on insanity.
Negative.
But I think that's the only...
Iron liver. That's what you're thinking.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
What was that?
There's a talent. Iron liver.
Iron liver.
Spend 5 luck points to avoid
Iron
the
liver
effect of
style.
drinking excessive amounts of alcohol. And they get penalties applied to skill rolls.
Can we just say someone has that? 'Cause
Nope, none of you have it on your character sheets. You all
when
took
are we
other
ever going to
shits.
play this scene again in our lives? Let's see here. What's wrong with my computer today? Damn it. All right, a fine plan. Someone undertake that. I have a constitution of 50.
Also 50. So yeah, we don't have anyone with an iron liver. Maybe somebody's got a,
Let's get good rolls.
I've
like,
got a 70 con.
You should do it.
you sir have a tin liver, which is good enough. My liver is apparently made of, I don't know, tin foil.
Could we use like weird science to have like your heart replaced with a second liver so you could care less and drink more?
Nope.
MacGyvered up an oxygen pill.
What are you doing, guys?
That's what we were doing.
I'm waiting for an answer. I've heard a lot of crazy talk, but...
All right. I'll get him in the drinking contest. The rest of you are going to have to carry us both out of here.
All right, make it quick. I gotta work tomorrow. I got a job to get to tomorrow.
All right, so I'm going to turn to Captain What's-His-Face and challenge him to a drinking contest, the gist of which is that the first player tries to guess the second player's favorite drink. And if they guess wrong, the guessing player has to immediately take a drink of whatever they just guessed. And then the second player guesses the first player's favorite drink. And if they guess wrong, they have to take a drink of that drink, and so on and so forth. And the objective is really just to get drunk as quickly as possible, because it is, in fact, a drinking game. That's what they're all about.
So he just looks at you and says, "Stupid fucking American. If you want to get drunk, then just have some drinks."
Where's the fun in that?
So you're not a sporting fellow, I take it.
And just throws a shot in front of you. He just pushes his glass over in front of you and waves to the bartender and gets his own.
Commenso Festival.
What color is the liquid in the glass?
All the
Mostly clear?
colors.
Just keep.
There is no name for the color. It's from space.
It's it's a color unlike anything ever seen.
Sort of greeny purple. Well, I'm not going to turn down a free drink. Come on now.
Huh.
Down the hatch.
Okay.
I it's like laugh at him and I go to the
So-
front and I put down some money. They'll-
Either,
they'll keep 'em
you
coming.
know, I'm sure Jack probably has not had this. Have you ever had aquavit?
Oh, I've had the aquavit.
I am aware of it. I've never had it.
It's from,
Carl,
like,
I'm going to let
Sweden.
you describe what happens when you drink a shot of aquavit, especially when you've never had one before.
I don't remember. This is all I know. I had aquavit when I was in Denmark.
That's all you need to say. No, I don't remember. That perfectly describes your first drink of aquavit.
It's a clear beverage, as I recall.
Yes.
Scandinavian in origin. I don't know. It was literally like in 2004, so it's been some time.
Yeah, basically you have enough time to say this tastes like, and you fall over.
So the one thing that you realize before the coughing gets you, Tark, is you don't necessarily think that this is something that this shitty bar in Limehouse should possibly have. You have never tasted anything like this in your life. It is absolute firewater, but at the same time, there's these weird herbal notes to it. Holy crap, NetDev, thank you very much for the raid with 45 viewers. I hope I'm not letting you all down. I'm Glimo, I'm the Keeper of the Chronicles. We are playing a massive Nyarlathotep game. It is a tabletop role-playing game in the horror genre. Right now, all of my players are, as befits a Sunday night, in a bar. It is 1925. They are in a bar in the slums of the docks of London, chasing after a ship's captain. And they've decided to
Drinking contest.
have a drinking contest with the ship's captain. Perhaps they might not be up to the snuff. We'll find out. Yeah, so you have never tasted anything like this before. It is super, super strong liquor. It is, so for, those playing at home, if you've ever heard of aquavit, that's what it is. So it's super strong liquor. It's clear. There's herbs that you've never tasted before. You've never had anything like this, and the only thing you can think is, oh my god, that's strong. Oh my god, that's strong. What the fuck did I just put in my mouth? And why is that bottle in the shitty dive bar here on the docks?
Is there any salted herring nearby?
That was you. Damn it! That was going to be my witty line. No, that's. First off, 80 proof is, it's whatever. But no, so Jack's like, all right, give me another one, and somebody, for the love of God, find me a dish of pickled herring.
So the guy kind of claps you on the back and says, I like you, little man. Lars Tolvolk.
Jack.
And puts his hand out.
Shake his hand.
I take it you like the water of life, then.
It's a new experience.
You're
Only
still
thing
alive.
I've heard called water of life before is whiskey, actually. But it's certainly invigorating is a word I would use.
Well, we can try some of your aquavita after we have one more aquavit.
I like the way you think.
Wait, are you guys all at the bar? Okay. Are we all at the same table?
We
I
are
guess-
all at the you're all at the bar. The bar is very full. It's a Friday night in the Docks and Limehouse, so you're all kind of like, you know, it's standing room only at the bar, and you've kind of all kind of bellied around the captain.
All right, so we're just propping Jack up in case he starts to fall down.
It's fine. You don't need to worry about me until I start singing. Especially if it's a language I don't actually know.
So, what's your story?
It's been drifting here and there since the war. Trying to...
Oh, the
Right,
damned
some-
war.
Yeah.
Thank the gods that it's finally over.
Mm.
Although, end of the war has been very good for business.
Yeah. If you have a business. Me, I never had much of one, so... Been hard to find one since.
Well, you could always be a sailor. Plenty of work in the Limehouse.
It's true. I could never get used to the shoes, though.
Kind of claps you on the back and laughs.
You a sailor, then?
I'm a captain.
Oh,
Been on the seas for 40 years now.
it's a good long time.
Aye, it is, lad. Aye, it is.
Yeah, you don't sound like a limey, though.
Oh, hell no. I'm a Viking in my blood. I'm from Norway.
Oh. Me, I'm a...
It'd be like when you run into truck drivers, you can say, "Hey, what you hauling?"
I'm a good old American mongrel myself.
Well, we can't all be perfect.
Hmm. Very few of us can be. It's true. So, I don't know. You mostly run the North Sea routes then, back and forth to Norway, or?
No, no money in that. I do long hauls.
You must have some interesting stories. 40 years at sea, right?
Yeah. And he goes on and talks about you don't even need to make a roll for this. You know he's completely bullshitting you, but he talks about some crazy time and mermaids and strange
And then
squids.
I wrestled a
and-
shark, killed it, and
and-
filled its body into aquavit.
Ah, you've heard that story then. Bartender, another aquavit for my friend here.
Jack tells a bullshit story about alligators in the New York sewers.
Tell them about a bullshit story about a crazy artist that we went in their house and they went in the basement and there was like a thing there and then we had to kill it. That was the thing.
Is this guy? He was like a snake.
It was totally gross.
He looks at you guys and is like, I like you guys. You're fun.
We're a wacky bunch.
This guy
Wait,
was all
who?
like, "Ugh," and he was all like, oh.
So I
wouldn't.
where was the place that I was trying to get a job at with the Indian dude? Ferris and Sons, was that?
No, it was Paneet Chowdhury's warehouse.
All right. I want to ask him about that. I was like, so, I tried to get a job at this, what is it, Paneet? What's the name of the
Paneet Chowdhury.
Paneet Chowdhury.
with the warehouse? Was it called that, or was that with the guy?
Yes.
That's the owner.
All right, anyways. I tried to get a job with Paneet, but he turned me down. Fortunately, so it's like, what's up with him? Do you know that guy?
So
Fortunately,
he kind
I
of looks
got
you
a
up
job
and down
over
and
at
goes, and he
Arthur's.
goes, yeah, I'm not surprised.
Oh,
Seems
why's that?
Paneet only hires family.
Family. That can't be easy around here.
Does he have a large family?
Yeah,
he's like,
well,
right?
there's a lot of Lascars from Paneet's area. He seems to have a slightly inflated idea of family, but, well, if you're not from the Indian subcontinent, you're not getting a job with Paneet.
Well, probably as far as away from there as.
Yeah, he's not hiring you, laddie. He's you or me either.
Was he loading his ship though? Like, do we know that? I can't
Yes,
remember
you
from asking.
you saw several guys from the Ivory Wind take the crates from Paneet's warehouse and load them onto the ship.
What does that guy trade in? I've been hearing all kinds of weird stuff.
Well, I don't ask those questions. I just take the cargo, me lad. I just take the cargo.
That's fair. That's fair.
Did he say where he's headed? If not, I'm gonna ask him. Long haul. How far? Where are you going this time?
Oh, all the way to China.
China.
That is a pretty long haul.
How long does that take?
Months. Could be the better part of a year.
Coming and going.
So we get our stuff.
If the weather is not favorable, could take 9 months.
You made that run before?
Oh, lots of times. It's good money going here to China. Put in a few ports in between. Do some offloading, do some unloading.
Pick up, drop off.
Whereabouts in China? Shanghai, Hong Kong, Macau?
You're awful curious. I'm gonna need you to make some sort of social skill in order to keep him talking about his business.
Certainly. Perhaps charm?
Sure. And I'll even give you 2 bonus dice since you've bought him. I know you get 1 from your normal for charm, and I'll give you a second one since you've bought a whole bunch of drinks for him. Extreme. Okay. Yeah, he is very willing to open up. Oh yeah. I do this run all the time. I go to from here I go to Marseille, and then I go to Malta, and then I go to Port Said, and then Bombay, and then Singapore, and finally end at Shanghai. Drop the last of the cargo, and then turn around, do the same thing on the way back. It's a good run. I mean, it takes most of a year to get kit there, year and a half to come back, to come back, but we make good money off that.
Oh yeah, just wondering. Yeah, so would prefer. Honestly, I prefer a run to the Caribbean. I don't want to get there. Rum. The
Pirates.
only one I heard there is Singapore. Singapore Sling.
Yeah, well, hey, if you ever get tired of doing the China run, maybe set up an aquavit importing business. I know a couple guys at New York's customs office who will look the other way.
I look at Jack and says, "We should just do that now. Why are we wasting time on this monster hunting business?"
Because our friend got murdered.
Get some more drinks until I forget about that.
Seems like I might be interrupted.
But here, so that was the Aquavina, the overproof. They have any overproofed rum here?
Oh, you can get anything you want from Smiley here if you just put enough pence on the bar for him. Hey, Smiley, he wants some overproofed rum. The bartender kind of looks over and puts a glass in front of you and grabs a bottle from down behind the bar, and it pours slowly into your glass, and
Yeah, it matches. Usually it's around 80% proof.
When is he leaving?
So what are we going to stay in London or try to
I didn't
on
even think
his
about
ship
that.
here? If we get passage on his ship, maybe we can find out what's in the crates. And then we get halfway to Singapore before we find out that it's tchotchkes and stuff.
It's going to be either that or Dracula.
Well, here's the thing.
It's a perfectly innocent opium smuggling business.
All right, I'm in.
Be going in the wrong direction for that.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's taking the goods to China.
he did say he does the return trip.
1 year later. No, but seriously, do we know when he's leaving? Is he leaving tonight?
You have not asked that.
We ask him when he's leaving, Jack. Nudge, nudge.
When
Should
do
we
you ship
have a
out?
drink to your imminent departure? I don't know if I would say imminent, but
Oh, I'm here for another week or so. Still bringing on cargo.
Good. More time for drinking.
Exactly.
As I said,
better be a very profitable run.
We did have the matchbook from the Stumbling Tiger, which is in Shanghai.
True. What else is in Shanghai? Like, what do we know about this? Just that he was carrying the matchbook?
Yeah, I think so.
So does this captain happen to bear a striking resemblance to any of the members of the group? such that we could knock him out, take his clothes, and have someone walk on board impersonating him?
A Norwegian? What if his whole crew is Norwegian?
Oh, hi guys, it's me, Lars. Don't you love that pickled herring?
We're just gonna do.
Well, I
We're
think
gonna
he's a
speak
good
an accent for like.
a good 15 to 20 years older than all of you, and has a full beard, and stands a
Gotta-
good bit
gotta-
taller than you. So, yeah, go for it.
Of course,
Guys,
one of us on the other's shoulders.
And when they say, you don't
I
look like
totally
Lars, go,
think
that's
that,
'cause
that
you're
Martin
drunk."
would totally.
oh, I did not critical at this guy's.
You
All
don't
right,
have to. If they accuse you of not looking like Lars, you just accuse them of being drunk. You don't look like him because you're drunk.
All right. Maybe we get him totally paralyzed and carry him back to the ship and take the opportunity to snoop around.
This will be part 2 in my ruse of I just gotta use your bathroom.
No, we're just carrying the unconscious captain around, and we're like, well, he said his cabin was down here. It's hey Lars, where's your cabin? See?
Okay,
I think that's our plan.
sure. How bad can it go? We all just fall on the floor before he does.
Well, how much sanity do we have to risk?
There's no sanity in this.
Is that really your plan? You're gonna try to drink him under the table?
That is really his plan.
Oh my God, that's such a bad plan.
Terrible plan.
Bad.
That's like Jack is not actually very smart. Okay.
I'm just trying to figure out what the
That's the plan.
that's the
Yeah.
plan.
But
Okay.
I
Who
am
is-
going to try to use misdirection and sleight of hand to
Who
not
is-
actually drink as much as I seem to be.
Who is taking place in this drinking contest?
It's Jack. We've
But I'm
already
cheating.
decided-
Jack is cheating.
We've already decided most people's constitutions are garbage. I think, right?
Hmm. I got a 70. I think that may be the highest
I
here.
think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. 55.
Yeah, 50. I have 80 intelligence. I'm too smart for this noise.
I have 45 intelligence. I'm not.
And I'd be like, there's no way this is happening.
Here's my dear
But it'll
friend
be entertaining.
Lars's stat block. I did not expect this to be a thing, but okay.
Well, it just randomly generates.
We
instead.
did say we were going to try and probably pull something like this last time.
I didn't think that you were going to try to drink them under the table.
Okay,
I
admittedly, I
thought
thought we
I
were
thought
gonna-
I thought that there was going to be more social skills involved as opposed to just try to out-blotto.
It's part of socializing.
I thought it was part of it. Well, he's getting drunk.
Okay.
The rest of us are
I
doing
mean,
social.
I
Okay.
can't
How
think
long
of a
you been
good
running?
way to just say, "Hey, let us aboard your ship and take a snoop around. Why don't you?"
Okay. Well, then
Our MO with everything.
I
is
guess
how
we're
do we
just going to
infect-
con off. So,
No, I'm trying to use sleight of hand and misdirection to not actually drink as much as I'm seeming to. I'm cheating.
okay. What is? Let's see. What's this? What's the Call of Cthulhu? Is there a skill for that in?
I mean,
There's sleight of hand.
sleight of hand.
There's sleight of hand. Okay.
They do actually have a few points in.
Make a sleight of hand roll.
Or we have 2 points in. Is that what you said?
No, I have a 40 in sleight of hand.
Oh, okay.
If you make your sleight of hand roll, then I will give you a bonus die to your con roll.
I did not make my sleight of hand roll.
Okay. So
Boy, son, your shirt's awful wet.
So you.
No,
you,
I'm just
you
like, why?
you go to.
Why are you passing me drinks?
So this is how this goes down. You go to like pour your drink out to the side like all like spy like, and he is like, oh laddie, I'm sorry about that. What are you doing there? Oh, Smiling Jack, fill him up, fill him up. Fill him up to the top. So,
Seriously. Baldric, bring me my incredibly strong ale.
make a.
All right, here's your water.
Tell you what, drink mine until you get another one. So, make your con roll.
Come
All right.
on, folks.
Come on, crit. Nope, not a crit.
Collapses in a pile of stinking liquor.
Yeah, seems about right. Yeah.
That seems about right for the alcoholic captain. Yeah. So you pass out, and he like doesn't even look drunk. It's
Who's
New Yorkers. Well, what can you do?
See,
All
now
right,
all you guys have
lads.
to do
Well,
is carry
it's a-
Jack's unconscious body
anyone-
back to the ship. And tell him that it's the captain.
anyone else want another round before I get back to my ship?
Where are we
Sure.
staying?
Pretty far away, I think.
Pretty far away.
Like,
think
well,
so.
you know, it's a terrible
I mean,
thing
you're-
that prohibition has done to them.
So you're 20 minutes from
So we're
20,
not
25
staying
minutes
around.
from
We're
London,
staying-
from central London, where your newest hotel is.
But how long have we been at this? Like an hour or two?
Yeah.
All right.
Look, if you all keep challenging him to drinking contests, eventually he's going to pass out.
Has Jack actually passed out?
Yes. He failed his con roll, and Lars got an extreme. So yeah, Jack is on the floor.
All right. Let's see here.
I regret nothing. In the morning, I'm going to regret quite a lot.
Okay, so I don't know. At some point, I don't know. I guess, do any of you guys want to do anything else here, or how do you guys feel about really wanting to get onto this ship?
Well, I don't know. I was just so.
I don't know if that's in character or out of character, but how badly do we want to get on this ship?
Do we have any reason to stay in London at this point?
Well, I thought we had to go fix that friggin'
There's the whole human sacrificing cult
Yeah.
that we haven't really dealt with.
That's like 3 weeks away, right? So it's
Oh, yeah, we have time for a quick trip to China and back.
today we would. Well, okay, so you just want to ask him for a ride to China?
No, come on. I think that's. We could travel faster. That's the big thing, right?
We could travel faster? What do you mean? Oh, because we wouldn't stop
Right. Die
because
rolls.
we have our own ship.
We just want to go and see what's in his hull, right?
All right.
Yeah, we want to see what's in the crates that are going from the Penny Foundation to the slightly shady warehouse to the ship that's taking them to China.
Okay.
So why don't we?
What's in the box?
Yeah. So is this really profitable for you? This route?
I'm gonna keep drinking.
Oh yes, it's a good route.
You're insured, right? So if like a box disappeared, you'll still get paid for it. Can we buy one of the boxes off your boat?
Has anyone actually asked him what he hauls?
Sort of, kind of. He kind of said he doesn't really look.
No, he doesn't really look. That's bullshit. How can he not know?
Really? You don't look? I thought you were responsible for the cargo. Aren't you worried about customs?
Yeah, I thought he has to have like a manifest or something, right? No? Is that made up?
You worried that one of these importers is going to screw you over? Trying to ship something through and you get nailed on the end by the authorities?
I make like I want to start my own shipping business after a while and like figure out how to do this like
So
under the table.
Lars kind of catches this very weird shift in the conversation, and he's not too keen on it. So I'm gonna need you to make some sort of social skill in order to keep him engaged in the
There's
conversation.
a time, bro.
Spend points.
Yeah, what the hell?
You're only off by like what? 8?
8, yeah.
Okay.
Spend 8.
All right. You spend 8 luck. You keep him involved, but he's still talking to you, but he seems rather. Do any of you have skills in psychology?
Beyond
I
debate.
managed to make a roll last time, so I bumped it up from 10 to 14.
I have a 70 in psychology.
I have 60.
I'm gonna use drunken
Okay.
psychology.
A 10, so yeah.
Yes.
How many luck points do I have to roll for check or spend
So-
for check to wake up?
I use drunken psychology and succeed.
Excellent. So, Jesse, you realize that this line of conversation is making Lars super uncomfortable, and you realize that Lars fears imprisonment and the loss of his ship if he was ever caught bringing the things that he is probably bringing into ports without paying customs duties on it.
Wow, that's a hell of a lot of drunken psychology.
That is a hell of a lot of drunken psychology.
uh, I So like wait, I wasn't here when we kind of came in. Like what? He looks like the kind of guy who would close a place down, right?
He definitely looks like this is not his first drink.
So what time is it?
Uh,
Are we at the beginning of the night or we're at like midnight?
it is probably around 10 o'clock at this point. You guys have been drinking for a couple of hours.
Oh dear God.
Maybe we should help him out and offer to take that Penhue box off his hands.
No, I don't think we should go there. So at various times, I would imagine that we would all have to use the men's room, and I caution folks against kind of, well, I don't know, trying to get them to talk about kind of any illegal wares they may be shipping, because that's going to spook them. Just so we're all on the same page.
I don't know. Maybe we do the opposite.
You could keep doing the opposite.
Well, no, I mean, it's play on its fear. It's like, here, we're from the States, right?
Who are you?
One of the big things is customs is smuggling booze, right? And we make it out, maybe, as we talked about, like I said earlier about smuggling a couple bottles, some custom agents, get some booze through.
Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. Sean, I mean, we could try that. At some point, so it's 10, right? So I kind of, I'm gonna split the party. I'm going to.
Of course you are.
Of course I am. I'm going to double our chances, hopefully. I'm going to say, like, hey, I got I thank I forgot what is it, Lars.
Lars.
I
Lars
thank him
Torvar.
for his hospitality and crazy Scandinavian drink. That's enough for me since I gotta report to work tomorrow at Arthur's. Wish me luck. And I'm gonna try and leave the bar, but I'm gonna hang around the area. Um, I'm gonna hang around the area, so I'm gonna like stake out the entrance. And what I'm looking for is when he may leave. Two things will happen. He will leave with the rest of my party, or he will leave by himself. Um, Either way, at that point, if he's not leaving with the rest of my party, then I'm going to approach him
Okay.
at closing time or something, right?
Okay.
So, assuming I don't fall asleep, that is what I'm doing. So
Okay.
now, you guys can feel free to offend him as much as you want, and I don't know, I may have a backup plan.
Okay. Great. What is everybody else doing?
Well, I said I'll just keep telling him. I said, because our big worry, but pointing to the unconscious dude there was saying, it'd be lovely. The States, it's prohibition nonsense, right? What's going on there? We hear keep about all the captains that keep getting, the rum runners and stuff. I'm Canadian and there, and I can tell you, we're moving a little booze because it's still legal to manufacture it up there. You can't sell it. So what they're doing is they're running it down to the States. It's all technically not the greatest things there. But, I got free there's people, I'll always be worried because everybody's trying to sneak some booze into the States, right? There's a big, big market there for it. But, Treasury, feds, agents and all that, prohibition agents really cramping down on people.
Oh yeah, that's yeah. I've heard there's good money in that, but that's
That whole you poor captains, you got some smuck. Probably you got like when your deckhands or whatever, right? They try and sneak the booze across there, but your captain, I imagine you end up taking the blame, right?
yeah, exactly, and that's not what I would that's not what I would wish for.
Yeah.
No, there's better ways to make a dollar. I mean, God bless the captains that do all that, but I don't want to be dealing with that.
Yeah, it must be a massive headache making sure your crew's on the up and up with you and people shipping their stuff with you.
Well, lads, I might have had my fill, unless well, I suppose I could be tempted into one more, but then I've got to get a move on.
That's completely out of character. Anybody else have any ideas? I wonder if looking for some cash, bribe, anything. Anybody got any ideas?
I do, but
Yeah, go.
unconscious.
Well, make a Constitution save. We can see if you wake up.
I was gonna.
Hard success. All right. Well, you come round just at this important.
Hey, Captain, you're around just for up for one last drink.
Say one more round.
The magic words, last call, right?
I've never seen a real shipping shift. Can you show me around
Those
your
magic
shipping
words woke Jack from his slumber.
What I miss.
Well, I think the pitch is something along the lines of, I've got a little bit of legal knowledge. My friend here is something of a scholar who's interested in old stuff. He knows about smuggling antiquities and that kind of thing. We could give you some legal advice as friends.
What makes you think I need legal advice?
Legal advice.
Who doesn't need legal advice now and again? Customs, inspections, border entry. We all ignore a little bit of that now and again. And it can get us in trouble if we're not careful. It's best to be careful.
I've had a good time drinking with you lads, but I think this one's had one too many, and I'm gonna step back off to my ship. Y'all have a good night then. So with that, Lars leaves the bar.
Well, I guess we go to Plan B and firebomb the ship.
Right, just tell him.
That's Plan C.
Jesse, you see Lars leave the bar alone.
Okay. Oh, I should have mentioned I try to position myself in such a way where I'm not obviously visible. It looks like he's not. How far away are we from the ship?
You're a 10-minute walk.
Okay. Oh man. Okay. I'm gonna try and tail him from a good distance, right? Like I'm assuming that this shouldn't be super hard, given that he has spent like 6 hours drinking. And I'm assuming there's not a huge gaggle of people where I can lose him. But between tailing Lars, I mean, I guess, do I see the rest of the team coming out? I guess within, say, the 5 minutes or whatever short amount of time it would take for me to notice that before I lost Lars.
I don't know. Team, what are you doing?
We are probably leaving the bar.
Alright, so I see them exit the bar, I guess.
Sure. That's what everyone says they're doing.
Alright, so I don't need any other kind of rolls or anything to keep tailing him, right?
Are you trying to be stealthy about it?
I don't know if I'm trying to be stealthy, but I mean, if that's what's required, then yes. But, I'm trying to keep a good distance away.
Make a stealth roll. I'll give you a bonus die to drunkitude.
I can't remember which one it is. Alright.
Roll 1d10.
I think I have a talent for this, to tell you the truth. No, that's the spot thing. this works.
I know. God, that's worse.
How does this even work?
So instead of the 83, you would get a 93, which
Oh,
is worse. So you are definitely not stealthy about the fact that you're walking behind this guy.
well, I'm not like right behind him. Okay.
So you're walking along the docks. I mean, you know he's out of your range, but out of or at the end of your visual range. But you like with a 93, you like trip over some big crate and make a little bit of a noise.
Okay. Does he stop? Does he notice me?
He is just as drunk as you are, so he just kind of lets it go.
All right. I mean, I kind of know where he's headed, so it's not like I need to. I think, anyways. I mean, after a while, it'll seem pretty obvious that he's headed back to his ship, right?
Yeah.
So if we fast forward to the moment, unless he's doing something else, you tell me. So if we fast forward to the moment where he's about to get on his ship,
Okay.
I'm assuming nothing happens between then and there. Then I want to approach him and basically say, Lars, fancy meeting you here again. I seem to have gotten lost on my way home.
Oh, hey, little buddy. How you doing?
Hey, what's up? Yeah, we do the whole thing there, and I don't know how much I was drinking, but regardless of how much I was actually drinking, I'm gonna pretend I'm pretty drunk. So I'm assuming we're standing at the dock, like at the foot of his ship. I don't know what the term is, but like close enough to see the ship and possibly board it.
Okay.
So is the ship busy? Is it like dead quiet?
It's pretty quiet. I mean, it's 11 o'clock at night. The
Okay.
gangplank's still out because the captain was off of the ship, but
Yeah. How big is this ship? It's like super big, right?
so it's not huge, but it's it's a decent size. It can carry like 7,000 tons.
7,000 tons. Okay. I don't know
Bigger
where
than
I'm
the
going.
Millennium Falcon, smaller than the Enterprise.
Bigger than the Millennium Falcon in tonnage, maybe. Yeah. Who knows? All right. I don't know where I'm going with this, other than the fact that I will ask to use his bathroom. And Jesse has 2 MOs. Gets thrown in jail, uses other people's bathrooms. And it's just like, oh, is this your ship? This is a great ship, because as far as he knows, we've never seen a ship, or at least I haven't seen a ship, right?
Y'all got a clean head on there.
I feel like I've known this ship all my life.
I've always wanted to see the inside of a ship's toilet.
If I'm going to be working on loading a ship, it would be great to be able to see more of how a ship actually works. Do you think you can arrange that for me? No, that's not what I say. Yeah, I don't know if I get a reaction from him about that when I say like, "Oh, this is like a great ship."
So he just kind of looks at you and goes, "Laddie, you're drunker than I am if you think this is a great ship."
Oh, it's great for the long haul. No, I must admit, I grew up in Texas, lived there all my life, ain't seen the ocean until I pretty much came over here, so I know almost nothing. But I need a job to get myself back home, and this seemed like, the only thing that a poor guy like me could actually get. So I need all the help I could get, and I need a bathroom. Like I kind of like almost drunkenly, seamlessly roll those two thoughts like together. Like, do you think I could use like I don't know what the term is for a bathroom on a ship?
The head.
If I know it, like I just say the reverse of that to like prove how like unknowledgeable I am.
The foot.
Yeah. Can I use the loo? Is that how you guys say it?
Changed your name to Latrine?
So what I want to do is just like I'm not gonna be able to open any boxes or anything at this time, but I do want to kind of, again, if I can, drunkenly at least take recon of what the heck is going on.
Open up the box. Nothing terrible will happen.
Fall into the box.
So I'm gonna, I'm gonna ask for either a charm, fast talk, or persuade.
None of my charms rolls have ever worked in this segment yet, but here we go.
All right.
Oh, jeez.
You need me to hold it for you, too.
He's the
I
new
think
cabin
that
boy.
So somehow, I don't understand how. Maybe you can tell me how, but somehow you have become drunk best buddies with Captain Lars, and he's like, "Oh, laddie, well, I'd totally love to get you home, but we are set going in quite the wrong direction for that. But I can certainly let you use me head. Why don't you come on board?" And he
Don't mind if I do. I thank him profusely for that.
and he
kinda
walks you up the gangplank, and so
make like I really have to go, and
The-
doing the little dance.
the vessel, like the captain, has definitely seen better days, and the the crew's quarters, such as they are pretty deplorable. Like, you are, if you really had to go, you would be double thinking your plan to go here as opposed to just whizzing off the pier. Like, this is like porta potty at Woodstock.
Well, here I am.
So
Where? So yeah, where is? So is he? He's coming with me? I guess. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
I
guess.
mean, he walks you to the,
Yeah.
into one of the cabins and says, "Oh,
Can I
there's a
have
head
talked
in
him
there."
into with my extreme success? Can I have talked him into also after I do my business, like into a quick tour of the ship? Like I make like I'm
sure.
like
With
super
a
amazed even
4
more
on
the
your
ship.
roll, I'll say that yes, he gives you the once over of the ship.
See anything interesting?
There's
Where are the rest of the people? Are they like all sleeping on this ship?
so uh there are cabins quarters. So here's the kind of weird thing about this ship. The normal crew's quarters, aside from the captain and the first mate's room, are completely empty. There are passengers' quarters, but they are. You get the idea that no self respecting passenger would ever book passage on this ship. And so the rest of the crew has taken over what would be the passengers' quarters on the ship. Um, there are about a dozen hands on the ship, and there are about 3/4 of them have bedded down for the night at this point, and there's still about 4 guys that are going around the ship and doing various sailory things that happen to a ship on port. That's still in port. They're making sure things are lashed down properly and swabbing the decks and um, so there's not a whole lot to see up on the top deck. He shows you the the cruise quarters. He shows you the new cruise quarters, aka the what would be passengers quarters. And then he takes you below decks and shows, oh, and this is the cargo hold. And there are a number of boxes, of crates in the hold. Make a spot hidden roll.
Fail to spot all the hidden.
Okay, so you just see a shitload of boxes.
You should spend some bucks.
How much luck do I have to spend?
13.
Oh, I just need a regular success?
Yeah.
But you had a
What
talent.
do I have?
Oh, do you have the talent that gives you?
Oh, I
your-
do have keen insight or whatever. Whatever.
That gives you a bonus die. So roll 1d10.
I think I do. Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Big money.
1. Okay, so that's an 18. So that's a hard success. Okay.
Whew, so hard.
So, in amongst the crates that you see down here, you definitely see the large crate that came from that you followed earlier today from the Penhew Foundation. You see labels on them that say Cairo Museum, Egypt. And because you get a hard, you also notice that these were slapped over an original label, and you don't get the whole address off of it, but you do see the name Ho Fang Import Export.
Underneath the label that is on top of it, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Ho Fang.
And
What
that
export?
there's and you would guess that there's over a dozen crates in the hold.
So wait. The Cairo destination was taped over the Ho Fang.
Yep.
What exports?
Yeah, and the reason it stands out to you is that it's written in both English and Mandarin, and so you see Chinese characters that hadn't been properly covered up on the crate, and that's kind of what draws your eye in. And then you look above that, and you kind of see like the moonlight hits down just right, and goes through through the label, and so you know that there's something written under the label, and you make out the words Ho Fang Import Export.
What was the label? Was it Cairo Museum? Is that
Cairo Museum in Egypt.
Okay. And the rest of the other stuff is, so all the stuff is just going all over the place theoretically. Or
Honestly, all of the crates that you see are labeled Cairo Museum Egypt.
oh, well, that's interesting.
And
I
there's And
Just
there's over a dozen crates.
I make kind of a what year is this? Ah shit, 1926 or something.
Actually, no, sorry, I screwed that up. So 8 of them definitely say Cairo Museum, Egypt. The rest of them have various other addresses on them. But eight of them say Cairo Museum, Egypt, and have weird Chinese characters underneath, and
Yeah.
on one of them you see the labels kind of peeling up a little bit, and you see Hofang import export.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just like, wow, this is amazing. Um, and these are pretty big boxes, right?
There's definitely one
Like,
that's
just in
really
general.
big, and
Okay.
the rest of them are decent sized.
Are what size? Sorry.
Decent sized. They're,
Okay.
they're they're not like one of them is the size of you.
Okay.
The rest of them are probably 4 foot high.
Right. I do a whole like thing where I I talk to Lars and say like basically um wow, it must take forever to load this in, right? Like so I mean Jesse's not like a huge guy, right? So he's like, "Oh, okay, if I'm going to get a job as like a longshoreman, what all is involved in this?" I spend a little bit of time kind of asking like, how do you get all this stuff like all the way down here? I mean, I assume there's like winch pulleys and other kind of things. But then it's like, what? You got a lot of stuff going to Cairo. What are you like shipping mummies and stuff? Like kind of in a joking way. That's all anybody knows about Egypt, right? Or at least I pretend.
Cats wrapped in bandages.
Chaps wrapped in bandages, there is it.
So when you say like oh what do you have mummies, he kind of gets a little standoffish again.
I just look at him and I'm just like really serious for a second, and then I just do like that, and then I pat him on the back.
Thank you, sugar lumps.
It's a whole Bubba Hotep thing.
Nobody smuggles
And I
mummies.
say like,
Cowboys
I'm
do.
sure you're not I'm sure you're not shipping mummies. That was just a joke.
People ship mummies out of Egypt.
That's right.
Used to actually be a big thing in like England, mummy unwrapping parties.
Oh no, so this is kind of yes. If you really want to know about that, I saw something like that in Waltham as part of the steampunk festival here. It wasn't a real mummy, obviously, but they like did a thing. Yes, if anything, the mummy should be coming the other way into the British Museum as befitting plunder. But I don't know. So yeah,
The British Museum doesn't have to smuggle its stolen mummies. They just put it on Royal Navy ships.
Who knows? So there may be mummies. Anyways, I kind of like make like, of course I'm joking. And I don't know if he has anything else to add to that, but if not, we'll kind of continue our tour.
Well, you've pretty much seen it all at this point.
All right. I just asked him kind of how much other. Well, he's going to be here for another week, right? So he's still like loading stuff.
Yeah. I'm expecting one more big shipment to come in.
One more big shipment to come in. Okay. All right. So at some point, I thank him for his immeasurable help in helping get me up to speed in the fine art of loading ships. And I say, maybe I'll see you around. And I don't know, I guess stumble off into the night.
Okay.
And I don't know, I guess unless anyone else is doing anything, I'm going to sleep it off.
Yep, I guess back to our new hotel.
Actually,
Yes.
I was going to say, if I manage to wake up in time, I'm going to try and show up at Arthur's.
So, before we get to that, tell me what you're doing on your way back to your new hotel.
Me?
Everyone.
Oh.
Spot hidden, double back, trace back to make sure we're not being followed.
Definitely spot hidden.
Spot hidden.
Picking all the locks along the way.
I I quickly get a haircut, change my hat, and put on a false mustache.
I throw up.
So with a 9 on your spot hidden.
Oh my god.
So once you make it back to London proper, you definitely notice a couple of guys following you.
So I'm not with them, right? So I'd have to make a separate roll.
I thought you were all meeting back up.
Yeah,
Oh,
Was I
okay.
not?
Well, I wasn't sure the
we're not separate.
time.
We're not separating that much. So I casually go, we got a couple tails.
Damn it.
All right, so we go over to the London Eye. We ride around one hole. Jump the Thames, swim across.
Should we split up 5 different ways?
No. Why don't we just confront them? We have numbers.
That's never helped before. Wait, how many people did we see?
How many guys are following?
There's like 2, right?
You've seen 2 watching you.
At what range?
Like just far enough out to not be suspicious. Like if Seamus, you think that you very easily could have overlooked these guys if you hadn't been
Hypervigilant.
hypervigilant.
Are we in a place where we can get away with killing them?
Oh, why do we need to kill them? Can we just outrun them? I mean, we're not. Are we close to where we're supposed to be, or is this like 5 minutes after we've left the dock area?
This
Or are
is
we
when
still-
you get back into London proper.
Oh, okay.
Attempt a little stealth. That be what would you use to lose them?
That's a good question.
Stealth is one mechanic you could use.
Yeah, let's give it a try. And nope.
How does this work? We all roll, or is it?
You would all have to roll. If
Oh, I'm so stealthy.
all right, I'll let you use your extreme to bump up Seamus's fail.
Booze is hitting me a little harder now.
I just pick
Come
him
on, a
up.
success
and,
on a 20? Come on.
And all right, so you managed to dodge your tail and make it back to your new hotel.
we need some disguises.
So
Perhaps if we built a large wooden badger.
I'm gonna
that
wear bright red shirts from now on, and underneath that, I'm gonna wear a black shirt. And I'm just gonna keep taking off shirts between scenes.
that puts the end on the first business week in London. It is now the morning of Saturday, February 7th.
Oh my god.
I am more than happy to not be in real time, but you have had heavy plans every single day. So let me ask you, gents, what are you doing on Saturday morning, February 7th?
I'm gonna go to my
Cartoons and cereal.
Wishing I was dead.
It's February though, so can't do strawberries and cream at Wimbledon.
I go load ships. Is that a thing on a Saturday?
Commerce.
You're really
never
gonna show up to your fake job?
I'm gonna RP my fake job. I mean, what else are we
Basically
doing for
Shenmue.
3 weeks?
You have to drive a forklift around before you can progress to the next part of the story.
Do they have forklifts yet? I'm willing to learn. Get some. You could do some out of game training and drive forklift or operate heavy machinery. Yeah, can I get my operate heavy machinery up from 1? Get some on the job training.
You can make an operate heavy machinery. Well, no, this is your first day on the job. They're not giving you heavy machinery. They're making you carry shit.
So I will go load ships. If nothing else, to kind of just keep tabs on Ivory Wind, unless we have like a different plan. Because as far as I can tell, we're like gonna hang around for weeks before like the badness goes down.
I'm thinking we gotta look up this Hofang import export and see what's going on with them. See if they got any missing
Fair enough.
Egyptian artifacts.
Well, they're in Shanghai, so we could look into what business they do in the UK.
Yeah, they might have satellite office or some receiving office there. But I'm guessing that wouldn't be until Monday, so maybe I'll spend the weekend doing a initial reading of. Let's see, which one should I do?
Oh shit! You've got a bunch of books.
All right, out of character. I'm gonna go get a drink. I'll be right back.
What books do you have?
I have Amongst the Stones that I haven't read yet.
Same. I'm gonna make myself some tea.
I've read Panoptic. I've read Life as a God. And Amongst the Stones, I haven't read yet.
Okay, let me.
I did a quick read of Africa's Dark Sects.
Amongst the Stones.
Hey, it is coming true. We are going to lose sanity.
I will.
Okay, you're gonna read Amongst the Stones. All right.
Preliminary read over the weekend. Some light reading.
You lose 3 points of sanity.
Of course.
You gain 1 point of Cthulhu Mythos. You could. So this is a short book. If you were going to spend the whole weekend doing it, you could finish. You could do a complete reading of the book uh, in the whole weekend.
Okay, see, I'll take the weekend to do it.
Okay. You gain 3 points of Cthulhu Mythos.
Ooh, I'm double digits now.
This book has a Mythos rating of 9, so if you were going to use it as reference further on, you could keep that in mind. It is a handwritten book written by Justin Jeffrey in 1918. It is bound in a leather book, but it's a leather cover, but it's not like any hide that you've ever seen before. It is pitch black. The leather is far thicker than anything that you've ever seen before. It's very eerie, and that's honestly a big part of the reason why you've lost so much sanity, is that you've spent the weekend poring over this book, and like you just keep coming back to, you're holding this in your hands and you're like, what is this made of?
Rhinoceros.
No, you're a man of the world. You've seen rhinoceros. This is not This is not anything that you can identify. It is mostly a book of poetry. And there's one poem that really stands out to you. It is called "The Trappings of a Queen," and it describes a dead ruler of ancient Egypt, Queen Nitocris, and describes her regal paraphernalia in great detail. And so it describes her crown, which is a jet black circlet topped with a gem, cut gem that to the untrained eye looks like a large diamond, but it's actually something completely different. It describes her girdle, which is a narrow band of intricately linked gold chain with what appears to be a large ruby marking the clasp. And the ruby is particularly unusual in that it displays a six-pointed star on the surface. And then she has a necklace. It's a long silver chain decorated with small emerald beads and a large square emerald pendant carved with an image of a black sphinx. So that is the big important things that you're able to get out of the book. And as I said, you gain 3 points of Cthulhu Mythos.
Okay. All right. Well, that was my weekend.
Did you lose more sanity while I was gone?
Yep. 3 points.
Okay.
How is your sanity now?
That's not going to come back to haunt us.
34.
34.
My Cthulhu Mythos is now in double digits.
Oh, God. Yeah, you might want to look at getting institutionalized.
gonna go relax for a while.
34. Holy crap. Okay.
Is there a sanity floor where that actually happens besides 0?
You know, 0, you become a non-player character.
Yeah.
You go completely insane. But
Yeah.
you know,
It's now
Third-
at the point where it's tough to recover. And
yeah, I mean, you have trouble recovering sanity, and
You gotta make rolls.
you know, you only have a 1 in 3 chance of passing a sanity roll, which means you're gonna lose more sanity. So,
Death
you know.
spiral.
yeah, you're kind of in that spiral.
You can do it.
Okay. So that happened. What's everybody else spending their weekend doing?
Were they loading ships on the weekend?
Arthur's did tell you that there was a ship that he would to load on the weekend.
I'm gonna load some ships.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and build up my ship loading skill.
Okay.
I don't know what that is, but
Make a strength and constitution roll.
like CrossFit.
No good can come out of this. I fail.
Make your con roll.
Alright, I got 50-50 for this. I fail. You think I'd get at least one of these?
So you try your damnedest to be a good longshoreman, but you are not built for this, and especially not in the winter cold. You know, it's a particularly cold weekend in February. You
Do I
know,
catch a cold?
it's 30 degrees out. You can see your breath, and you're trying to load this ship, and you are not built for this, being a Texan, and you
Ask for a transfer to a hotter ship.
get you know, halfway through your day, and you are just spent, and you cannot, you can't keep going, and Arthur just kind of looks at you and goes, lad, I'd love to help you out, but you're just not made for this work. I'll pay you for the day, but I can't use you.
Give
Go
me one
home and
final chance.
go home and get some rest. I can't use you, lad.
I grudgingly accept his pay voucher. And I don't know what is this like? It's like this montage. You get up at 7 a.m. You're ready to go. You do all this stuff, and then it's
And
like,
by noon you're just
59.
done, and he just gives you £5 and is like, get the fuck out.
Alright, I failed. Why?
So, what do you do after having not been able to load some ships?
I just lie in my room for the rest of the day since I'm so tired.
You need Gatorade after a bad episode of CrossFit.
Something like that.
Okay.
Wait, what are we playing the whole weekend? Is that what happens?
I'm just asking what you're doing on your way back from the.
On the way back, nothing, because
Mhm.
it's like freezing cold in the morning,
Okay.
and I worked my last honest living.
Okay.
The smuggling antiquities for me,
Okay.
and yeah, I don't know. I take Sunday off, watch some football on the telly.
Seamus, Martin, and
Hadn't invented television yet.
Jack,
Damn it.
what are you up to?
Okay.
Oh.
Lost heart. Um,
He had some smoke detector thing he said on the chat.
uh,
Yeah, he's gonna change the battery.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna change the cameras, so you guys'
Okay,
names
so
are gonna
what
be in
did
the
you
wrong
say?
place. But
there's crates there, right? Be nice if we could get into it.
Yeah, we'll just show up at the boat on Monday with like name tag. Hello, I'm from Ofang Importer Exporter.
Or
Put on Fu
maybe
Manchu mustaches.
maybe we could
Make
go.
this
I think let's talk to our favorite former police officer, see if he has any contacts in the customs. You know, exports here to the Cairo Museum. You know, that's anything that's museum grades always seems to be important to the old custom inspectors. Maybe ship should be have a inspection.
interesting. Okay. So, your police buddy is retired, but
And we do mention the fact that he seemed very scared of having his boat or going to jail or losing the boat or he's scared, right?
yes.
Whenever we brought up we were talking about the customs and things paying.
Okay. So your buddy Inspector Craig is retired, so he does not work on the weekends, but you leave a message for him at New Scotland Yard, and the desk clerk says that he'll make sure to pass it along. Anything else that you guys are gonna do on the weekend?
Keep looking for cultist tales or just cultists in general.
Okay. If any of you would like to make some rolls, then go right ahead.
Wait, what are we rolling for?
Spot hiddens.
Or shady characters looking around all the weekend.
Oh, I see.
No, I'm oblivious.
I have an extreme with my keen vision talent.
Okay. So you definitely, as you're going about the town, notice people following you. And you would guess that they seem super frustrated that they've not been able to
Figure out what the heck we're doing.
figure out what the heck's going on, or find you at your normal haunts.
Because I'm trying to work in a dock.
Uh,
The spice shop.
but you're able to you know dodge your tails for now.
So we're definitely being followed. If only we knew what the heck we were doing, that would be a bigger problem.
Hmm.
uh, did they?
And
Okay. Do they? Did they seem Egyptian?
a couple of them definitely did.
Ah. I wonder if we can use this to our advantage somehow. So we should just assume we're being followed no matter what we're doing. Okay.
And that will end the weekend, and I think that that's probably a good place to call it for the night.
Hmm.
Let me ask, when is a good time for us to get together? 2 weeks from today, our normal time would be August 4th. That would work for me, if that works for everybody else.
August 4th is good for me.
Hey, great for me. I can stay up late. It's a holiday the next day.
Nice.
Okay.
Yep, that's fine.
Great.
Should be good for me. Yeah.
Awesome. Well then, I am gonna say thank you very much for playing tonight, and that's all I've got. Anyone else have anything they wanna say or do before we head out for the night?
No, that's it for me.
All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody. Have a great night. It was, as always, great playing with everybody. And we will see each other again in 2 weeks' time.
All right, thanks. See ya.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.